Good morning, everyone. Hello. Happy Wednesday. I had to think here because the weeks go so fast. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. So we're midweek. Yesterday, New York session is just literally just a consolidation range. That could happen after a large move in the pre-market in Asia. But yeah, just looking at the news again. Hey, I've trades. Am I reading it correctly? Good morning. Waiting. You are very eager. I love it. How are you doing? Hello. Let me just check the news just to make sure if there's anything new that popped into the news because just wondering, price has been held down quite a bit. And I thought that we would make the PM session might make a move up because we had equal highs on the 15 minutes, but it did not. But I do think I'm still a little bit more bullish than bearish, but let me just have a check, guys. Just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that I did not miss anything. Is there anything that you guys can think of that is there news, some news? Wednesday, 23rd, 24th of June. It's already 24th of June, guys. It's crazy how fast time goes. I don't know. Time is just flying. Okay, no news today as well. US news talking. Okay, so I see something on the news. It says bank stress test results. I have never seen that before. Now I could have missed it because it's a yellow folder, but it sounds sort of like, It's at 4 p.m. So that means at the end of the day, right? Or is it? No. I am not on. Hold on. I am on. I'm on Eastern. Yeah, I'm on Eastern. Okay. So at the end of the day, there's going to be a bank stress result. A bank stress result. I wonder if that will impact price action. It just sounds to me, I don't know if anyone has noticed it before and maybe journaled it or looked at it. I have not. It's been totally transparent here, but I'm definitely going to look at it. It's at 4 p.m. at the end of the day, so there's going to be a test. And it's like, oh, are the bank maybe secured? Or, I mean, bank stress test. It's like, okay, how secure are the banks? Something like that. Let me Google it. Bank. I want to see what this test is. Bank stress. I want to see that test for. I don't trust these things when they give it a yellow folder. Maybe it's more than that, right? What is the impact? Let's see if it can get anything out of it. So it says here, bank stress tests cause acute short-term volatility in forex price by shifting overall market risk appetite. Strong results typically strengthen the currency of the tested economy, while widespread failures can trigger currency sell-offs due to perceived financial instability. A positive test. So see, it's a yellow folder, but it's still, if major banks clear capital requirements easily, risk appetite increases. This boosts demand for higher yield assets. Okay, so this test is at 4 p.m. So I guess maybe that's why they're holding everything in that range because of that test. Because I mean, if they're going to fail, it's going to have a lot of impact. So it's a bit odd to me that it's a yellow folder, but so it's today, USD bank stress result. Okay. Hey, Mareth. So I never caught it before. Let me put it that way because maybe it has been before. I have to go back into my journals, but it doesn't sound like a yellow folder. It could be more impactful than we think. Now, if one says, yeah, but it's at 4 p.m., I can imagine that institutions might be risk off because they know that test is coming, right? So they don't want to maybe invest because if it's a negative test, things are going to sell off because there's less risk less appetite in the indices and stuff like that. So that might also explain the ranging that we had since yesterday. I'm just not sure. I'm just thinking, like, why has it been ranging so long? Okay. Hey, Lance, how are you doing? All well on this side. How are you doing? Are you doing well? Yeah, I'm just reading that bank test result at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm just wondering, like, also, if you notice now, we are in a gap of Friday, 12th of June. We're sort of like in the bottom area of that gap, filling that. Let me show you. It's an old gap. Let me go to the hourly. I mean, you see, if I put the B adjust off, you have to, because we're, it's sort of like in the, remember last week we were in the new week, the new contract change. You also have to look, you have to little play around with it a little bit, switch off, B adjust and on, and then you have different data. If you look here, with the B adjust off, the gap, the N walk is larger, right? So you see here, we are sort of like in this gap and then at the lower end and going back and forth. With B adjust on, you see we're already below the gap, right? So you have to play. That's why it's this time is always a little bit tricky because you have different data and sometimes you just don't know what data is being used exactly. I mean, I sometimes struggle with that. Like, okay, well, and so I toggle it back on and off. I have to do that the first, sometimes the whole 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the whole month maybe. So yeah, so you see the difference, right? Be just off, but the gap is larger. And yesterday, until the AM session, we were in the gap and we went below it, but not very convincingly. We're still like, it still could bounce off from here back up again and just creating liquidity. But we've got equal highs and lows on both sides. Now look here on the one, on the lows, we've got equal lows, and on the top, you've got equal highs. So, hey, Bowser, how are you doing? Hey, Bowser, bad news for the prop firms, eh? You're back. I think they are sending a internal memo. Oh, guys, he's back. How are you doing? Yeah, so it's a bit tricky, guys. I'm just gonna wait until they go to it. It can go both. If I'm looking in many ways, I can frame it both ways, to be honest now. I would favor the upside, but yeah. Always allow for contract changes since that's what they're trading in options. So, Bowser, do you give higher value to the B adjust or non-B adjust? I just look at both, but I'm just wondering if there is, that's what B adjust does, allows price to show yeah, I know, but um sometimes I notice the B adjust, it differs which levels are used. Sometimes it is the non-B adjust and sometimes the B adjust. So I'm still sometimes like, okay. So I just take I look at both still. So here the B adjust is on, right? The gap is smaller, and without the B adjust, the gap is on. So I would the B just off, my gap is bigger, and I'm like, okay, is the information giving me that we are just, yeah, I just look at, but it's confusing. So guys, it's just confusing. And that's why it's sort of like, just hands off until things get more clear. At some point, there is no difference anymore between the two because time moves on, obviously. Um, but yeah, around this area, around this time, it always can be a little bit tricky around contract changes. Um, so it's just good to be aware of the differences, right? So okay, with be adjust on, it's this. With be adjust off, it's this, and you just consider both. It is what it is. I had a really good trade yesterday. In the morning, my AM session trade, and it literally it was to the top. I actually I thought it would go higher, to be honest. Let me show you, but it did not. I thought we would go higher in PM session, but my morning trade was very I just wanted one level. I was just interested in a small level using the opening range gap, literally. Yeah, my trade was, I'll post it in the Discord as well. My trade was from here to here. But I thought at some point we would go higher, but we did not. But yeah. I thought the PM session would take, there were equal highs on the 15 and not equal lows yet. But in Asia, it created equal lows here. Oh no, in the PM session, sorry. I fell asleep here. See, we created equal lows on the 5th. So we have equal highs and lows now. So what do you do in a situation like that? What I do, I wait until they take either or because you just don't know. I mean, I'm just going to wait until one of the two is breached. Oh, I need to close the curtains again. I've got a nice aura behind me. I do use BHS, but it's good to look at both. Okay, gosh. Yeah, yeah. Just be aware. I'm still figuring out what to do exactly, to be honest. So like, okay, what is being, that's what I journal now for okay, what is being used, and just, try to figure out a little bit if it's very conflicting data, like, okay, what can I use? What gives me a better, more clarity? But I shorted the 1050 macro, then took that high, and that high, I target the 1050 macro low. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I guess that was the only short to take, in all fairness. Let's have a look on the 15. This one was too early, 10:15. Not here it was a little bit unclear, I guess. And then here you have your shift, and you took the retest here. Let's go lower time frame. 10:50. Let's break it down. You took the 10:50. I shorted after the 10:50 market, then took that high. I target 10:50 macro low. 10:50 macro low. It was a tricky area though, to be honest, right? With all the wicking. Went into this wick, and then you took a, yeah. It wasn't really, no, I mean, I put in a paper trade for the PM session back up to 15, but it did never went higher than here anymore. So So after the macro they ran and then the high and then dropped, yeah. It's not really, it's just like ranging. It's just like, what, I just don't. I wonder if that bank test, yeah, it was very slow and, but I guess that indicate, and you know what also was an indication for me? But I didn't think it would not go there. There was on the 1 hourly, we had two wicks. I'll show you. On the hourly, there were two larger wicks. So I thought, okay, it's just going to be choppy. Where are my wicks? Let me show you. So I thought it would go into that wick on the hourly here. You see on the hourly, we had one wick here that formed at 10 o'clock and we had this one. So I thought we would go back and forth a little bit in the range. I thought the range at least would go into this wick. So that was my prediction for the end. And at some point, maybe in Asia, blast through this wick. So taking out these equal highs. So that was what I think would happen. But the only thing it did not even get into this wick. It just sort of like cleared out the imbalances here and then now slowly moving up. But now I think we might have slow action again here. But something I learned from Lento, he said, look at this overnight sell. This is this little pump going to take back exactly? Yeah, but it was just like a little bit of going back into the OTE level because we didn't even go to 38% of the range. It's like it is just. And if you look at the we had well, actually, we did go to exactly 66% of the. That was my target, by the way. The whole opening range gap was almost 1,000 points. We went to exactly 1/3 level here. So that was my range. But I actually thought we would go at least to maybe a little bit higher. And this was, I think here, this was also around 50% of the dealing range or even 38. I think we didn't even reach 38%, I believe, but I have to double check it again. So that's why I thought there was a little bit room to the upside before going lower. So I still think we're going to go a little bit higher and then go back lower. I thought 50%. You mean 50% of what? The opening range gap or the dealing range? Sonia, how do you use the RTH gap for entries? There was no one answer for it, or you just use it for intel. Okay, like the overnight gap is used by institutions for, it's a gap, so it needs to be filled at some point because there is an imbalance, right? So what does an imbalance, what does the algorithm does? The algorithm does only two things. It seeks liquidity and balanced out imbalance. So at some point it needs to go into the imbalance, but they can leave the imbalance for a while, but you can see how it has been chopping in this area. It did not go higher than that 1/3 level, but you have to use it not as a entry mechanism on its own. It helps you to define your trade using more confluences. I would not use the opening range gap as an entry model, but just as an extra information how I can use it for TP, but it has to match with other things. If I look here, okay, is there anything? Is there liquidity resting here? What else is here? Does it match levels of my OTE levels of the full dealing range? Like I use structure, like a breaker, a retest of something to enter, but not just my opening range gap. Now in pre-market prep, I do use, if I have enough data already and we have been doing certain things, then I use that data. I can sometimes just enter on, okay, we're now, we've already done the work beneath it. Now we're going to enter in the opening range gap. Yesterday, I used this. My trade was in combination with the breaker, order block, retest, but I waited for a little bit more confirmation. I could have entered here. There was order block, propulsion block, retest, but I did not enter. I just waited because I was like, it could just slam down again. So I waited a little bit longer and we had displacement, and then I targeted this this 1/3 level. So my trade was literally, it's on the Discord and in the pre-market prep. This was my trade. It was 124 points. And I said, this is the only one I know. This is the only thing I feel comfortable with. I don't want anything else. And it was a good call, but I did not think it would actually, in all fairness, I did not think it would just, this was the high of the day. I did not think that at all. That's just a coincidence, guys. I did not have any idea of that. So yeah, that was the trade. Yeah, I thought that 50% or maybe a little bit higher was the afternoon trade. Same thing. Yeah. So Sonia, you want to use it and you want to keep those. So I keep it on now as well because it's such a large gap and because we have been ranging, I'm just using it now to see if this 50% is going to be reached or what are we doing? Because I think once we go over this level, I think we might go higher, but that's why I'm keeping it on because we haven't used it. But in New York session, I do use it, but then other things have to, I need more if-then statements, if that makes sense. So if-then statements, and obviously I have some models that I work with in New York session, and then I use it as an extra confluence to literally, yeah, define my TPs. And also what I did, because it was so large yesterday, because this was a really large range here, I added another layer of gradients. I'm sorry guys, because I'm not looking at the chart right now because I think it's just ranging still. What I did here as well was I added another layer of, because the range was so large here, and I was looking between this first level and here, I was looking, and why I did not use, there was, in hindsight, I was like, okay, I could have used the breaker and the order block and stuff like that, but I was a little bit uncomfortable because it was just going back and forth. So let me, here. So when we had this displacement here through this one, I was like, okay, we're already going through the first quarter of the gradients between these. So that's like almost 1/8 level, right? Because you have to make it smaller. Now, if you're an ICT purist, ICT uses quadrants, and but I use quadrants 1/3. I actually used that before he taught it, so I'm not changing it because it works for me. But if you're ICT purist, it should be 62.5, and but I just use quarter 1/3. But that's just, I just want to make that clear. I use it a little bit differently, but he didn't taught that before. And now he taught it and I already used this. So so I saw the here and I said my entry will be above this line because I want, but this was an extra displacement through this one was bullish for me. And then I just waited until we had a very nice retest on the 1 minute here in this red box. And then I entered up to here. That was the trade. So I just needed more confirmation. But technically in hindsight, I could have entered here already, but I just wasn't sure. So, and then I just needed more information. And then I wait for one displacement and continuation. So that's how I use it, Sonia. So it's just like I use the levels for confirmation, and ICT has taught if you have a displacement through one of these levels, either wicks or gaps, it's a bullish confirmation, right? But you have to have already structure. You need to understand other things already. So that's how I used it yesterday. You see, I don't like this. It's just too Yeah, the RTH gap is very powerful. I love it. I mean, I would go mad if that would disappear. It's all and you can see, guys, it's algorithmic. It's not it's so precise. It went to exactly 66% or one third level. It's not buying or selling pressure. It's just it's already defined, and they already know at midnight where price is going. How the ranges will be formed, where the swing highs and lows will be formed. That's all algorithmic. Those are all predefined. I'm still in South Africa. Yes, I am. Yes, South African sun right behind me, going into my screen. So I have to close the curtains. Yes, South African sun. Let me close the curtains. Well, tread carefully, because I don't like it already. If you sound like that, the sun is going crazy. Yeah, well, I'm going to close the curtains. Sorry if I sound rude. Yeah, I think you should already stop there then. Um, guys, I want to share something with you because there's something weird going on lately, and I think I'm going to. How many people are in the chat? 34. Um, I've traded. If that was a rude, that was not a rude question. If that was the question, if I'm in South Africa, so don't worry about that. But I don't know what you're going to ask afterwards. So, if that was the question, that's not rude. That's fine. But hey, Sebastian. Hello, hello. Since I've been posting some better trades lately, I've getting so many sad stories. People needing money. So if people are wondering why people that are doing well are going behind a paywall, it's not about money. I think it's because of that, just to rule out all those weird things that are I think that's really something the reason because um hey Soltero, hey Soltero, welcome to the family. How many? I'm almost at 2200, I see. Yes. Hey guys. Well, 12 more people need to subscribe to get me to 2300. All about models. No, well, I think it's about ruling. I'm not interested in this PA, by the way. Yeah, I think I am going to make a tab in the Discord for scammers so we can recognize them. Hey Richard, how are you? But I'm getting so many sob stories, sad people that are asking me for money now. And let me tell you one thing. Um, I think if you ask people that you don't know for money, I think you're already a scammer, to be honest, because it's sort of weird to me. But it's even weirder to me if you're a male, you're asking a female for money. Now, it's a different thing when I'm in a relationship or a mother, but come on, guys. I think, I don't know, I just wanted to mention this, but if you're a male, you've got to be ashamed. I'm just saying it, guys. A life lesson. Have some honor, work harder. Ask your friends, but don't ask a female for money. Never ever. Except, it doesn't mean that I would give my partner if he needs something. I mean, that's a totally different story. But uh, listen, I'll make you a sandwich. Um, no, but I'm thinking I'm going to make a tab in the Discord, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to name and shame you guys because I think you have bad intentions. If you ask me for money, you have bad intentions already. So, so I'm going to make a tab in the Discord for scammers because we have more coming in. So we can see the profiles. Obviously, they change a lot, but some just go back in, or maybe from other Discords we can share them because I think that's a good thing. But also, if you ask money, it's really a bad thing, guys. I'm just warning you. You're not being taken serious anymore, and you lose respect from my end. Um, yeah. I'm just saying, but it's really weird. I'm sort of like, I'm sort of like, wow, it's a new thing that now is popping up. I'm getting DMs. I'm like, okay. Um, I really hope you never give money. Hey, Lance, I'll tell you one thing. I'm a sucker for friends. I'm a very softie, but in business, oof, I am a bitch. I used to be the bitch of the department. If they had to do tough conversations, I was the one that they put forward. Um, I have a different personality in business and in personal life. It's strange because you have givers and takers. I guess in my personal life I'm a giver, but hey, in business I'm a taker. I will uh I don't know. I don't put up with shit. I just don't put up with shit. But in personal life, oh yeah, how many people never, that's where I learned the lessons, I guess, in personal life. But yeah, but it's just I just noticed lately that sad stories, and maybe some of them are true, but I don't know. I just don't believe you. I'm sorry. Hey, can you help me answer that red box with dots? Is it support or ICT concept? It's my secret. It's actually my secret. No, it's just an old level that I look for old levels. I can't even recall it. It's on my chart for a long time already. Um, they're just all fair value gaps that I've used that I think that are still valuable. Let me put it that way. It is an ICT concept, yes. Do you only do trading or also have work? Yeah, of course you may ask. No, this is my job now. I don't see it as a job, to be honest. I have to make a living because I live in South Africa as a foreigner, and I'm not allowed to have a job here, taking away a South African job. So I have to do online work, and I didn't want to fall back on my old job that I used to do. And I was in IT before I moved to South Africa. So I had to become profitable and make this work. And then I started the YouTube channel. Um, yeah, so yeah, I really deep dived into the trading, and now the YouTube channel came actually on top of it, thanks to a company that I am going to work with more closely in most likely next month. So I would have never started. I thought I would only be a trader because I never thought of starting a YouTube channel. I just thought, okay, I'm just going to trade. And then I was recruited by a prop firm. And because of them, I had to do streams with other coaches. And that's kind of, oh my God, this is so much fun, community building. And but then because they were just starting out and there were some things that just didn't fit my way of trading and the platforms that we had to use and just other little things, we we decided to part ways, but they were the one that pushed me. They said, listen, you've got to start your own YouTube channel. I said, nah. Yeah. She said, well, listen, you got everything now. You're set up, but just do it. And that's how it went. I would have never, and they pushed me. They really pushed me. Actually, should say she. She pushed me. And it wasn't without her. I would not have done it. And here we are, almost a year later. And now things have changed on their end as well. But now they want me just being as it is. Just I can still be myself and do everything what I want, but now work together with them. And I think that's the only company I want to work with because there's a story there. I think I almost owe them. I feel like I owe them. It is not the case, I know, and they don't see it that way. But I am so grateful. I am so grateful. So I can't stress it enough. Sebastian, I will reveal that next week, or maybe the beginning when time is there. I think I revealed it already, but um, I'll leave it a little bit for. But yeah, I will be working with them, and guys, because I've been working with them, I know their level of integrity. I know their financial solvency is being monitored by a very renowned accountancy company worldwide. So there were always, so that's a very important thing for me. Um, so I know they're solvent. I know they won't go out of business very soon. I know how they work. So there is trust, which is very important for me. Um, hey, Mr. Chaos, how are you doing? No, 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 no. I'm not gonna. I just give it a. Let me just finish everything with them. I just wanted to. Well, we'll keep the element of surprise. It's not about. I really want to. I'm just gonna keep it a surprise a little bit. But yeah, it's not just a company. It is because of how things have happened, and they will be the only ones that I will do it with because I've been very adamant about it. And I made a joke. I said, don't let me do giveaways, please. I hate the giveaway crowd. But uh, if I have to do it for them, I have to do it. But we'll see. I don't think I have to do it. But um, so now I only trade funded next, but that's not the company I'm going to work with. They lied to me this last week, so I'm a little bit upset with them. So hey KC, I have asked about you last week. I said, where is KC? I am dehydrating. How have you been, KC? I haven't seen you for a long time. Good morning to you. I like the other guy that trades with them live with the order flow. He's cool. Who's that, Bowser? Hey, Vivek. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. I definitely want to go to the beach. Have a nice walk. I was sleeping too, changing up a bit. Okay, good. Okay, you have a little bit of a different time zone now that you're trading in. I'm happy to have you back. I was really thinking, like, oh my God, did I scare him off or what? Okay, let's see, guys. What happened here? Are we going to go up here or are we just, again, just consolidating? But you know what I see, Richard? Yes, I use the Venom. Yes, I do. Very hot here in the Netherlands. Oh, I like it. What sort of income does one need here to live comfortably? Well, it depends on how you live comfortably, but I think it is less than you need in Europe, that's for sure. So you know what I'm seeing, Richard? I just want to point out something why I'm a little bit hesitant. You know what I always say? When you have a bullish and a bearish breaker, you want to be careful. When the activation of a bullish breaker is the retest of a bearish breaker, you want to be careful. It was yesterday the same. I always wait till one of the two breaks. You see, even on the 5 minute we have, on the 5 minute we don't have, sort of a wick here as well. Spain has an amazing team too. I forgot his name. He was streaming it live in New York, so be careful with them. Although I don't watch football at all, to be honest. Everything that I read about football is new to me again. Multiple sources is needed to live comfortably anywhere. Um, Hopefully not lucid. They combined profits from Friday and Monday, and it's messed up my consistency. Oh, that's weird. I can imagine that they would have done that with Thursday and Friday. Oh, because Friday and Monday is they considered, yeah, that's because Friday was a bank holiday. Sometimes they do that. Yeah. Um I remember that there was a case before as well. Hope the Netherlands go far in the World Cup. You mean, yeah, World Cup. Well, I think World Cup is actually a good name. Yeah. So Jamal, not normal. That's nice. When I visit a place I want to go to CRC. It's called Suffer. We need the day in the life of a trader. So this is actually very funny. I actually stopped. I actually stopped making extra content to slow down growth a little bit. It sounds very weird what I'm saying, but I don't like making extra content as much as I like to stream. But I do have a few videos of my life, just my rooftop, my safaris, and things like that. Um, but I stopped doing it a little bit because I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just not purposely slow down growth, but um hey Priya, how are you doing? Pedal. So no, I used to play tennis though, but I think pedal is pretty awesome. In Hoedspruit they had a new pedal course, but I think it's cool. Yeah, I like it. I think I might if I go back to somewhere where I see it, I might do it because I like it. I look at it, I'm like, looks like tennis. I used to play tennis, but my back gave up. So, Costa Rica. You back gave up. Yeah, so I have like I had a really, 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 really bad. I had was it yeah, two back operations. I could not sit for a year. I could not. I mean, it was pretty bad. I mean, it was pretty bad. Um, and then I was actually I was It's just it was a herniated disc, but it was such a bad one. It didn't resolve itself. And I lost control of a lot of it was really bad, I can tell you that. Um, and then they gave me it was actually something new, and I was the first patient with a second herniated, because after one operation I got it back again, and I was the first patient who they had to try it on, and it was either or, and I said, well, I don't have a life at the moment, I can't do anything, so you do whatever you need to do. And this thing just saved my life. I was walking back on heels, literally. I was very feminine at the time. I even climbed the Table Mountain. 3 months after that second operation, I climbed the Table Mountain. And just as I had to prove it, and I was still living in the Netherlands. It was my holiday. I was crying when I reached the top. That was such a big. I knew I was back. I knew I had my life back. That was a moment of my life. Oh my God. When I was so exhausted, I almost fainted, but because I had no, my physique was at zero, but I had to climb it. I had to go up all the way. For those who know how, uh, climbing the Table Mountain, at 40 degrees, for those who have done it, you know how challenging it is. I still have pictures on it, and I was just, oh my God, I was so emotional. That was a moment like, okay, that was pure from the just, and I think trading is the same thing. You have to have perseverance. You have to keep going. You have to don't give up. So no, Richard, that's the thing. I was healthy. I played tennis a lot. It could be I fell one time playing tennis with my dad, and I fell on a hard court. That could have cost it. And then I always had like a pain in my back at some point or in my hip, and it stayed for a couple of years. But I think that, and then at some point it was just, oof, it started really getting bad. But they don't know. It's a lot of the times the surgeon also said I see a lot of healthy people. They have good physique. They're healthy. They sports a lot, but it can come from any fall or maybe a wrong movement. It's just, and it can be there already for many years without even pressing on a nerve. So you don't even know it's there. The problem starts when your nerve is being pressed, right? So I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Um, Hey, Lance. Yeah, I have family in Houston. I spent many times in Texas. So I've been there a lot. Yes, you're a tough cook. Yeah, Richard, you always have to train your torso. It's so important. That's why I always train my this area and keep it. That's why I now what I really like is the hanging. So I hang every morning. It opens up your spines, and that really I have no issues anymore, unless, well, I had the pain in my back and my neck last week, but that's because of the cold, and I was a little bit stressed because of all the news with the break-ins and the security, and just the weather change. So I had a little bit of headache last week. I couldn't do one pre-mark. I couldn't focus, and but my back issue, since I do the hanging, guys, I can really. Hey, Sebastian, there's nothing to talk about. I already said, listen, we're in between two breakers. We're sandwiched. There's nothing to do. Hey, and especially if you're 40 plus, ding ding, especially if you're 40 plus, Sebastian, you need to do these things. You need to hang, you need to take care of your torso, you need to do things to keep your body in place. So, and it's all related to trading. It's not unrelated. So we're not talking bullshit here. We're talking about things. If you noticed, all the traders that do well, they all work on their. You can see them change their. They start maybe a little bit overweight, some of them, and while they're being, the more successful they get, you also see their bodies change into more ripped, and because they understand the relationship between the two. Look at Jade for example. He's a good example. I think he was a little bit overweight when he just got I would, is he famous or got well known in the trading community? Look at him now. Man, that guy's working out a lot. But you can see all of them that are successful. You can see that they are working on improving the trading, improving their health, improving it goes together really. You see, Richard, how it doesn't mean it won't go there, but you see how it just goes back and forth between those two things. I made a short on this. If you are between two breakers, it's a definition. It tells you there's going to be chop. I was out of work for a while, only trading. Now that I work again, it took 3 weeks for my body to stop hurting. Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny, guys. That's why I have to go to the beach. I don't go to the beach for sunbathing, but I do my longer walks there. And obviously it's a nice area also to, to clear my head and sort of meditate a little bit because it's very quiet. There's sometimes no one there. It's just beautiful. But if I don't do those things, I don't do well in trading. I make mistakes. 93 years in holdings. So KC, well, KC, I know you're into health because you already understand the importance of hydration. Don't you think? Yeah, sitting is the new epidemic. So, guys, I want to share something with. I found a channel that is so awesome, and so Sebastian, yeah, there's a difference in South Africa if you're at the Indian Ocean or the Atlantic. The Atlantic, for those who are at the Cape, they have the Atlantic Ocean. So winter gets really cold and the water is quite cold there. But the water here is less cold because we have the Indian Ocean here in the KwaZulu-Natal. Well, right now it's winter here, so it's a little bit colder, the water, but not as cold as at the Cape. Okay, now I would be interested more in a long. Let me do a paper trade. What time is it? 2:47. Let me just wait a little bit. I want to see we're holding. I just want to see if we are. I wonder if we're going to go higher. They're just creating liquidity. Do you see that, guys? Yeah, so sitting is the new academic, but the epidemic. Let me, what I really like, I'll show you guys. And this channel is so awesome. I get many of those tips that I say from her, and it's very basic. Movements. She's awesome, I think, and it's so so talking about the what to do with the how she sits, the you sit truly like, and I do that as well now. Let me show you guys. I want you to look at this. So Richard, I take a lot of exercises from her. Also the hanging came from this, and it's very basic and it's just very simplistic. And I think you would like this as well. Moves method. I think this is the basics. Moves method. Look at it, guys. You're a very patient. So Tiro, no, this is just not. If I have look, if I see something that I see as algorithmic and it tells me, okay, listen, if I see a bearish breaker and a bullish breaker in literally in one range being created, it tells me for my journaling, it told me, okay, you know what? I'm not going to anticipate. I'm going to wait because most of the times I'll be chopped up. At some point it will make a move, but I would rather miss that first move instead of being chopped up because I know a lot of people, you guys were thinking it was going to go to this Asia range, right? And I said, no, I'm not, I'm just going to wait because I think it needs more time. So it's not about being patient. It's just having having if-then statements. And like I said, rules are sometimes a double-edged sword. Sometimes you miss some move, but I just know I would rather stay out because those are this area where I will be chopped up. So I'm actually not a patient trader. I'm a very impatient person. So it's a battle for me being patient always. I'm a very impatient person. So I need rules to keep me in place. very strict rules, always. If I don't, so yeah, so it is for me like, okay, I'm just not going to anticipate because 80% of the time it will chop around. That 20% time it might move, I just have to let it go because I prefer not to be chopped up and wait for a more an area that is more to my liking to trade. Hey Casey, I'm growing. I'm still working on a lot of things, man. But I'm really growing. I'm evolving as a trader, as a person, and again, it makes me emotional to say it, but it's also the channel that helps me. So I have to thank you guys as well. No, no, Soltero, I love it when you say that. I love it when people highlight it because then I can highlight, no, but it's not because I know a lot of people have the same challenges as I have and think it's just, oh, when you're profitable, you don't have any problems. No, you still have those problems. You just find a way to deal with them. But if I don't follow my rules, if I eat bad the whole week, if I let things go, I lose accounts. If I'm too impatient, guys, I can share with you that I lost an account this morning because I woke up and I thought I saw something, but I was not. I lost a funded account this morning, literally. I woke up, I just didn't give myself the time. And I've been instantly, and I thought, oh, I thought I saw it. It's simple. It's so simple. But I forgot to look at one thing, and I thought I saw a model, but I didn't look properly, and I was impatient. There, I lost it. Boom. So, so it still happens to me. When I don't follow my rules. Okay, what time? We're in a macro. We are. I think now it's a nice time to enter. I'm just gonna paper trade for now. I haven't opened up my accounts. Let's see, because I still don't trust it at all. Could go, but we're in a macro. We retested this. We already went. We went in here. We went back where it's 253. We're moving. We have, yeah, this is a nice trade. I like it. So now we're retesting this order block as well. Yeah, let's go. I still don't like it though because it still could go lower again. Look at this, but I'll give it a go. Perseverance is an excellent strength. Yeah, you never give up. Do you use a No, I don't use it yet because I make enough money as it is, and but I should maybe do it at some point. I just prefer to use my accounts differently. So if I have one trade, for example, that worked out, I just go to my next account for another trade or something. I just feel more comfortable with it. But there's nothing wrong with copy trading if you are profitable, but you need to grow into it. I don't want to do it on stream because I hate it that all these influencers are making it sound like it's so easy. But hey, use my code because, you know, get 20 accounts so I make a lot of money out of you. But you don't see that they are buying a lot of their accounts with your money because they have the means to do so. So I would rather be. I'm gonna get stopped out. Where are you getting? Did you go long or short? Trade is a leverage smaller size. If you want to trade 10 micros, use 3 accounts. Yeah, it just depends on how you use it. I mean, you have to grow. Be profitable with one account, and then you maybe do a second account, and then if you have to build it up. You have to, you know. But if you start thinking, oh, I just need $100 with 20 accounts, and if you're not even consistent with $10, you won't be consistent with $100. We need to get consistency. Consistency comes first. Yeah, they also get their. It's a model. It's a marketing model. They're in it with the prop firms. It is to trick you guys, trick us. to buy their accounts. Simple. It's a model. It's how people make their money. There's nothing wrong with it, but just be honest. So that's also one thing that I need to be able to be fully transparent. If I work with a company, I want to be able to be fully transparent. If I trade with anything from them, um, is it free? What am I allowed to do with it? Can I make money of it, or is it just for purposes only to show? Things like that. I just need full. I need to have. I need to be able to be fully transparent. That is number one thing for me. But I'm sure there's not going to be any issues. KC, I will reveal that next week when we've got everything in place. I will reveal that. I think I revealed it a little bit before, but I think now it's a good time to not reveal it. But I think a lot of people in our community is actually are not using them. I don't think they are. So I think it's nice to have them to the as the community. Maybe you are, but I don't think I've heard many people already using them. Okay, let's see, guys. London is opening in 4 minutes. Then you got to start the. It's not really. I don't want to use the word. I think vendor. It's really. I think it's really a partnership, helping each other, helping each other. It's not. Yeah, we I think I feel like. Yeah, they're part of my journey. So it's sort of like it just makes sense to me to use to do this. But nothing is set in stone, guys. For it, just you see how tricky that price action is. That's why I'm not putting anything on my evals or fundeds. Nothing. I use I love MFFU as well. I used to love them, but they banned South Africa a while back. I was funded with them, but then I had to stop because of South Africa. I don't know if I can go back to MFFU, I would. The trading pit I never heard of. Alpha futures I know, but I don't use. And funded next. Yeah, I use funded next, definitely. Do they have water bottles? Hey, that's a good one. Actually, Casey, that's a nice one. Because a water bottle with the name of the, water needs to flow, order flow, dehydration, heat, I think water, I think that's really a nice, I think I like that idea actually as a. Oh, Richard, what's your trading goal for this year? Oh, I love that question. Yeah, so I said my trading goal is to be able to position myself in London and let the trade run through New York Open up till maybe 11 o'clock. I just get too chicken. I'm just battling with a bit of fear sometimes. You've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it. Sometimes it also creeps up in the. A lot of the times it doesn't, but sometimes it creeps up also in pre-market prep. And I'm like, and even my analysis is correct, but I'm just like, especially in turtle soups, I don't know why. So yeah, sometimes it just when I'm tired. I guess it always comes when I'm tired, but it's something, and the analysis is correct. So I'm not dealing with FOMO then, but more fear. And it's really weird because that entry would have been such a good low risk entry because even the risk would be so small. If I would get stopped out, it was just 5 points, but then again, I'm letting it go and then I have to have a worse entry. So it doesn't make sense at all. Hey, 3 o'clock. Let's see. But I haven't had this week. This week I'm doing really well. So as you have seen, so, but we'll see. No, so Michelle, closing trades way too early, I don't see that as a problem. That just means you're still growing because I think I think people need to deviate from it's a wrong thing to closing trades too early because that means that if you put up a trade, it's your trade. You have a plan and you have already a TP and closing trades too early just means that is it should be your model or your plan that you are trading. And if it's too early, it doesn't matter because if you journal it, you always journal like, okay, how can I do it next time that I get more out of this trade? But I wouldn't see it as a problem. It's just where you are growing. It's where you are actually, it's already better than break even, right? Because you're already green, but you're just not, you want more out of that trade. But I think I always bet when people say that, no, it's not a negative, stop making it a negative. It's a positive. You're green, but you are working towards getting more out of that trade because you at that moment you didn't see it when you post the trade, you put it on, you have your TP set, you have your stop loss set. That's it. That's the trade that you see. That's your knowledge. And if it goes more, you didn't have the knowledge to let it run at that time. But because you're journaling your trades, you're gaining the knowledge maybe, and then you're finding out. That's why you need to journal and find out, okay, why did the trade run more? How could I have traded? Could I have put up 2 micros and take 1 TP off here and let one run? That's where your growth is. It's not a wrong thing. It's growth. So that's why I really want to, I stress it all the time, guys. If you put on a trade and you are green, you're green. Could you have taken more out of it? Yeah. Well, figure it out. What did you do? What can you change? But being green is good. If you start telling yourself it's wrong and it's a negative, you're putting down the growth that you've already made, right? So I'm just saying it's really people have to stop doing that. Exactly, and you can't if you don't have the knowledge. It's like, okay, we are all limited with our own knowledge at that time. You see, guys, how nasty it is. It took me out, so I'm happy that I paper traded this. It looked like a long, right? But that's why I always let this one go. Which breaker is gonna. So they actually are not going long, but they might. So now they took out the low, but I still don't trust this. Man, you're nasty. Yeah, so it's growth. Being green, because you know the break-even phase is the longest phase that most people are in. So you are like, oh my God, I know so much, but my P&L's not showing. It's a very frustrating phase to be in. But it's actually a really good phase because you're really growing. And then comes the phase that you start to show your P&L starts to get green, but you're not happy because you want more because the trade works out longer. Yeah, but you didn't see it. You don't know because you don't have that knowledge yet to frame the trade up to there. But you're already framing 5 to 10 points consistently. That's good. It's all about consistency. If you have that 5 points consistency, you will go to the next 10 points. But be happy with those. Don't think, oh my God, there were 10 points. My trade is useless. No, it's good. It's really good. That's how I started. Started with 5 points, 10 points, 15. Now I'm at average 100 points on a regular basis. I can say it now. On a regular basis, I frame 100-point trades. I'm bloody proud of it. But did it come easy? No. It's a lot of journaling, a lot of time journaling. I was always journaling. Okay, I only got 10 points out of this trade. Look where it went. How can I frame 100? Well, I wasn't looking at 100 points because I thought that was impossible for me. If you asked me 2 years ago that I would make 100 points on a regular basis, I would have said no. But here we are. Okay, so now I'm bearish, more bearish than bullish. Let's see. Um, Green is always good, yes. Consistency is the key. It doesn't matter how many points you have. Michelle, let me, if I may ask you, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I just want to, like, if you're consistent with a certain amount of points, you're doing so well already. Really, it's just a matter of time and to dig a little bit deeper, journal those trades, and always ask yourself with a good trade, a green trade, what can I have done better to get more out of this trade? That's what I've always asked myself. And obviously with the losing trades, those are your best learning moments, but you need to journal. Most people don't journal. I'm going to do, hey, listen, Mareth, you guys can see my growth on the channel. Literally when I started the channel, the growth literally has been very consistent during the channel actually. I think I started the channel. My max was around 80 points, and then it slowly grew. And then my consistency with 100 points has literally come this year. 5 points, I would say 2 years. I think it's been 2 years, 1.5, 2 years. It doesn't come easy, guys. It's a myth, and it's not like I was consistent already and profitable for 1.5 years, but with not as much points, but still profitable. You don't have to be profitable with a lot of points. You just have to be patient. Okay, well, I want to do a poll. I'm gonna do another poll. Who journals? Who journals consistently? I'm just my growth came from the journaling. That's all I can say about it. I've had to expand my thresholds from no comma to inserting a comma. How long did it take? Yeah, I try to aim for 25. So Michelle, if I may give you one tip, it's good to aim for a certain amount of, but I would rather focus on a model. Like if you have a model, rather make it about a model, and then attached to that model will come in a certain amount. But just focusing on amount of points sometimes can be a little bit tricky. Yeah. Well, I would rather, yeah, if you have like something that works for you, then attach the amount of, so switch it around. Yes, exactly. KC. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you, KC. Yeah, it's the focus is like when I say, for me, my paper trades are equally as important because I journal them and I have no monetary value attached to them, because I also have no monetary value attached to my real trades, if that makes sense. Of course, I want to make money, but if I put on a trade, I'm already willing to lose what I am putting on, if that makes sense. I'm okay with any outcome of that trade. Why? My models, I've backtested my models. I've got data on it. Either they have 80 or 70% win rate. I'm okay with that 30% that I might not make it, because it's my brain maybe not working is one of the, could be, but it's also the model. Just, there is no A+ setup that works 100%. And that's a mistake I also see people make. Oh, my A+ setup model, but and they go in all, they over leverage, but then you don't understand an A plus model, because also your A plus model will never give you 100% win rate. I still don't trust it, to be honest, Richard. Focus on the model, guys. That's the most important thing. Focus on the models, focus on the models. I'm staying the hell out of this price action. I would rather miss a trade. Um, Let me have a look at this. We did make a large wick. We went to 50% of this one here. We've got the daily open still below us. Yeah, I don't like it. I still don't like it. I can see the long. I can see here. I can see we wicked into it, but we still. I want to point out this little gap here again. Just below the daily open. Yeah, it feels like an I don't know, guys. There was this bank test, this bank stress test at 4 p.m. Eastern, so that's the end of the day. I'm wondering if they're holding price down because of that test. Let me see if I can open the curtains again. Yeah, let's see if we have a 15-minute repo or something. Nothing. The Hello. Hello, pretty girl. Are you bathing in the sun? I think it might draw down to this imbalance. Daily open and in this imbalance, and maybe even to midnight. Thank you for your call. Oh, thank you guys. Oh, let me see what the poll. Yes, 76%, 33% no. I appreciate the honesty. So for some, there was a question from me. Oh, Maret, you asked how long did it get from you to get from 5 points to 100 points? I actually didn't like to journal when I just started, but it was more when I just didn't know what to journal because I just didn't have the knowledge. But I wish I just started sooner because I could see the growth very quickly because of the journaling. Um, yeah, it really helps you expand your knowledge. You just see things faster because you're not in the charts looking at the moment you're in a trade, you're not focused on price action. You just focus on your trade. Your brain just works a little bit differently. But the moment you are disconnected from the trade and you are just sort of like going into trading view and you say, okay, my trade, you can use this tool in hindsight, right? Okay, I'm framing a long, like for example, let's say we are trying to get this long and we get stopped out a couple of times. And then that's how I found out, for example, when I see two breakers in one range, I'm like, okay, why is this happening? How can I define chop? How can I maybe predict chop? Well, I found out, I'm not sharing everything on the channel because there's a lot of hours of work, but these things sometimes I like to share things like these. Okay, when I define two breakers in one range, I already know I can't trust that's how chop sometimes, So I know I look at the charts and I go to different time frames and then I'm like, okay, and you start seeing things. And then I notice, oh, there's two breakers actually. Oh, I was actually trading off one breaker, but I failed to see the other one when I started trading because I was so focused. Oh my God, I see a breaker. I finally see it. And oh, retest, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm like, oh, that's interesting. The activation of that breaker was actually the retest of the other breaker. And that's how you get to see these things. Otherwise, you're focused on that your 1 minute time frame, right? And you're in your trading. You're like, oh my God, let it go to my TP, let it go to my TP. And you're not seeing a lot of things. And the moment you start journaling, you can zoom out, but it takes time. It took me an hour per day. I was literally journaling an hour per day. But yeah, I can highly, highly recommend it, guys. Journal more than you trade in the beginning. And journal your paper trades on live, not on backtesting. Or if you like to backtest, you can do that. But I actually did backtest a lot in the past, but now I just forward test. So I'm live. That just for me, that just gives me, because I don't know the outcome. If I go back into backtesting, if you're on a lot on the chart, especially now because I stream, I already know what most of the times you know what happened, right? So, well, maybe not, maybe on NQ, maybe not on every. Going to midnight opening. I just don't like this price section. It's horrible. It's just horrible. I'm staying out of this BS. Hey, I don't know, Bowser, are you still here? I wish someone would know about the that bank stress thing, because I'm very curious about that. The bank stress. It sounds to me like it's something that why we're held in a range, because the banks, institutions are tied to banks, 401ks and things like that. Hey, but we're building so much liquidity to the upside. I mean, I can see a trade to the upside, but I'm just wondering how low when is it time to move? When is it time to move, baby? Let's see if there's any logic to it. It's already 3 o'clock. Man, I saw chop coming because of the two large 1 hour wicks yesterday. I literally communicated it as well, but I did not think we would have so much chop. So fucking ugly. So we rejected exactly 0.5. Guys, do you think that's algorithmic or not? Look at this level here. Beautiful. That's at 1 hour wick. So pretty. Yeah, the decision. Yes, exactly. That is one of my biggest growth of my P&Ls. Staying out more often than not, and also taking out more. Like if you have a model and you have a win rate of 70%, like how can you increase that win rate, right? Because it's. I was like wondering, like, okay, I have a win rate that my model is working 70% of the time, but that 30%, can I improve that 30%? That's how I am keep on going in. So how did I improve that 80%, that 70 to 80%, or maybe even 85, 90%? I don't think I have 95%. No, maybe, no, I don't think so. How did I, by taking out even more, taking less trades on it. So I was looking, okay, what am I, and I focus on those losing trades. So I added more if-then statements on those models. So I stay out more often because I know, okay, that gives me a losing trade, but why? So I could increase the win rate of that model. So it's not like, okay, once you have it, you're done. No, you keep on improving it. So my 70% went to 80%. And one, I even got to 85%. Why? Because I stay out of it more by creating more if-then statements. Yeah, but KC, my R to R is always the same. But if you want to grow your win rate, you have to think about the win rate because the model stays the same. Your R to R is already the same. It's your model. So if you have a R to R which already is fixed, then you have to think about your win rate. Otherwise, how are you going to increase your win rate? Damn, we just keep on building liquidity. Yeah, so it's a scammer's question or a troll when they come on stream. What's your win rate? And I'm like, yeah, you don't understand shit because you can have a win rate of 40% and still be profitable, right? But then it's like, yeah, ask me about my win rate in combination with my R2R, then you understand what you're talking about. But if you ask, yeah, what's your win rate? And I would tell you 40%, you would like, oh, you don't know how to trade. Well, hell yeah, I know how to trade, but I'm still profitable because I understand how it works. Now, I don't have a win rate of 40% because I'm working on my models, but you can be profitable with 40% win rate. Is there anyone with 40% win rate profitable in the chat? Uh, 49%. Well, nice. I like it. Yeah, so you can be profitable. So it's sort of like, do I really need to answer this question? What's your win rate? I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. It's just not a very, it's a very, it's a troll question. Or someone who really doesn't know anything about trading. I think I'm just gonna, I think next time I'm just gonna tell them 30% or something and see what they, and just. So do you use okay, see, now 99% because you're not doing anything. My win rate is 99% now because I'm staying out of the trade. Algo derived percentage 99%. Yeah. My win rate is 100% now because I'm not in the trade. I think this is I said it a while back ago. My biggest growth is being able to stay out of price action that is not favorable to my trading style. Man, this is horrible. We'll give it one more go until the 350 macro, and then I'm going to, I think we should touch some grass instead of looking at this bullshit. Hello. It's a nice sunny day, so we should enjoy the sun. Non-favorable, yes. Well, I would say to my trading style, but I wonder if there's anyone who likes to, is anyone good at trading this? Oh, I'll take a lesson from you. You can coach me. I hope I hope people stayed out of this. Oh, by the way, I saw that I had a new subscriber to pre-market prep. User P5. Please contact me on the Discord, please, because I need to add you. Let me see. So can you describe your pre-market prep? Yes. So pre-market prep, I focus. So my approach on pre-market prep is a little bit different than my approach in London. So on pre-market prep, I focus on trades, preferably to take them in pre-market, or at the open, or latest at the if I can't manage to find a trade, and then I look for trades after the 10 o'clock open. But it's really focused on trade setups and really hunting trades. So it's a different approach than I have in London. More aggressive as well. So it can be a very short pre-market prep. Sometimes they're longer if I just have to wait a little bit. It also depends on how I'm feeling. But most of the time it's just really hunting the trades and preferably um, a quick setup trades and really focus on boom. I started it first because I just wanted to share my how I use my London intel and how I implement it in my trade. But I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with it at that time, but now I'm really like, okay, that's where I really hunt my trades and I want to be fast. I'm very aggressive there. I can be pretty aggressive. Not to you guys though, aggressive in my trading. No, it's the open. It's around the open of the New York session. So it's the session starts around 8:50. And if I do see a trade sooner, if I'm at home, I use the Discord to communicate things. And sometimes I start the stream earlier if it's very, very favorable, but preferably around that time. But if it's sooner, I communicate through the Discord. So yesterday I had a really good trade, and then I'm done for the day, right? It's just one trade and then I'm done. That was a trade we went over. Casey, were you here when I went over the trade, the morning trade that I have? I just do better with my trades um, in New York than here. Let me put it that way. Yesterday I had a good trade here in London as well, but generally speaking, my trades in New York are I do a little bit better. My stats tell me I'm doing a little bit better in money wise. Um, yeah, so yesterday it was actually a 19R trade, but I put it on I changed it to 8R because I'm like, no one's going to believe me that it's a 19R trade. I framed the trade. I don't know if Mathers here. He was there. I did not put it on. I said no one's going to believe me. But yesterday I literally had a 19R trade. 224 points. I already framed it before even the open, and I had to wait a little bit longer. Um, oh my God, this price action, 330. Yeah, I think it's going lower though, to the daily open and maybe even to midnight, right? Maybe the 315 macro. Man, this is quite a bit of we're back in the old days again. Um, but KC, oh KC just became. Hey KC, you're in. Do I have you on the Discord? I think so, right? I do. It doesn't mean I don't trade uh, afternoon session, but it's just I want to try to just focus on one trade, and get that one trade done. Sometimes you have a nice continuation, and then I might trade other accounts as well. But I will share that. I share that as well. If that happens. Hey, see, are you in the? I think you are in the Discord, right? I think you have a different. Do you have a different name on Discord? Send me a DM on Discord, please. You don't have to share your Discord name. Oh, okay. Oh, you're not on the Discord. I do have a KC in the Discord though, but that's someone else. Okay, let me check if the link is still working. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna share the link here, but if you're a scammer, stay out, please. We'll hunt you down and we're gonna ban you straight away. Don't join the Discord, scammers. We're fed up with you. Here you go. Scammers are begging for money. Get the F away from me. Yeah, I checked it as well. Okay, so I would say that maybe the 350 macro might make a little bit of a move. If that doesn't happen, um, I don't know. We're in for some really bad price action, I guess. Okay, Casey, now let me see if I can find you. Oh, I see you already. Do you have a business? With a name? Okay, I'm gonna add you. Member. Here you go, Casey. Now we finally have someone who can, I think I'm dehydrated now a little bit. Richard, did you see the Moves Method YouTube, by the way, that I sent, talking about the exercises? Did anyone see the Moves Method YouTube, the way how she sits? I just wanted to go back because we were deviating a little bit, but on her channel, she squats, but she sits like in Asian countries, the old ladies, when they cook on the floor, they sit in a specific way, right? And if you can't go from a squat without using your hands standing up, you're actually already disabled because that means you already, you need help. So you need to be able to go from a squatting, like sitting all the way down in that squat. And you see it in Europe especially, right? Um, okay, Casey, you're in. Um, he's Mohammed. It retests the daily open. Yes, I can see. Well, it's even not even retesting it, it's just going blasting through it. So I guess we have lower price action coming. We're retesting the imbalance now. Remember that 15-minute imbalance? This imbalance here. Going back to bed now. See you. I'll see you later, Casey. Oh, boss, you're short already from 238. Oh, what a patience. I just can't be bothered with this price action. Okay, let's see if this is enough. This is the imbalance is in the daily open. Is it the draw or does it want to go to midnight? Could be enough for now. I would think it would. I think it wants to go to the midnight price. Midnight is free. I'm going to take this off. The imbalance is off. We don't need it anymore. I'm almost at the point that I would call it seek and destroy-ish. We are creating liquidity, we take it out. We create liquidity, we take it out. We create liquidity, we take it out. This is typical seek and destroy. Take it out. Liquidity, take it out. This is these are account killers. I mean, see if it wants this. Maybe even go back to 3 o'clock. Let's see. I'm not touching this, guys. Bowser, you got balls, man. But you know what you're doing. Okay, 344. I just want to look at the pool. 57% consistently losing and winning trades. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, guys, again, if you want to get better in trading, journaling is part of it. You have to journal. It's really very important. Oh, you got out of the daily open. Okay, yeah. Daily open plus a volume imbalance, right? So um, I think it's bullish for now again. I think this is might be the long. Um, Zero point 0.4. Just a paper trade, guys. I'm still paper trading. I'm using the same breaker. It's a little bit tricky. I'm going to put it a little bit lower below this here. I'm just paper trading. I'm just paper trading. No interest whatsoever in I'm looking forward to my little beach walk now today because it's such a nice weather. Today it's nice and sunny. Um, okay, let's see if it wants to go now. I like it. I like this candle at the start of the macro. Let's see if it wants to run. It might, I mean, if it does want to run, I mean, we could get an explosion at some point. Well, hey, listen, I'm not surprised if it takes me out again because it's such a shitty price action. There's no logic. It's below 3, below 2 o'clock again. There we go. Oh, it's so nasty. Let's see if it takes me out. There we go. Taken out again. Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, I'm not touching, like I said, I'm not touching this price action. And a lot of the time you think they're creating PDRAs, but if you're in a range, they're all fake. Most of them are just fake. You can't really, they're just going being, if you're in seek and destroy, it just creates liquidity. Like it's seek, it creates liquidity, short term, it takes it out. It creates liquidity, it takes it out. You can see it here all the time. It's just creating short term liquidity, taking it out. Short term liquidity, taking it out. Short term liquidity, this one is not taking out yet. But now we're taking out, no, maybe I don't think we're going to take this out. Maybe these two equal lows again, this little gap here, and then go back up, take out this. Seek and destroy at its best. Yeah, so I've been complaining about London a little bit, Sonia, but I'm still gonna stream. But I was like, I hate London right now. It's slower, and even though it moves, it's slower. But I don't want to complain because I do love London. But London, I do much better lately. My stats are showing that New York is easier for me to trade. It's faster. I like the faster moves, and I see things clearer. But that's also because obviously we have the London intel, right? So it's sort of like a win-win. But there was a time that I did really, really well in London, that I was like really, actually, that's how I became profitable, mainly because of London. But I don't know, since the market has changed a little bit, I think when we had this higher time frame consolidation for a long time, I think there the change for me started a little bit. And now also I'm like, yeah, okay, London. Well, this week I had a couple of really good trades in London as well. But not as much as I have on, yeah, I also tend to paper trade more on London lately. But yesterday, and I think the day, I have to go back on the stream, but yesterday I had a good London trade, both on all my accounts. But most of the times, but I always start my day with paper trading, always. Just want to see where my head is at, if I'm reading the market properly, if my internet is working. And then I just test the water. Like, when you play tennis, you also, you hit a few balls, you play golf, you hit a few balls. Every time, whatever you do, you always practice first, right? Before you get in. I think it should be the same with trading. You're just waking up, you're just like, okay. I mean, there's no sport that you just go in straight and go for it. No, you have to practice balls or whatever sport you're doing. You have to warm up, right? Slow chop. Yeah, sometimes it's great. Yeah, but this is horrible. I mean, this is just pure. This is insanity. You don't know when it's going to make that move, right? Or that sweep up. Well, if you have a good, like Bowser, he said he got in at 338. You're at the high. It doesn't matter if you are. You can sit out the sweeps, but I would get angry at some point. I would get. That's where my I just don't want to be in it. But yeah. The imbalance was a draw. That was with the daily open together. It was here 337. So 238. Where's the 238 is here. It's not that well. It is an hour. So Bowser, how many points did you make for an hour's work that took away your sleep? Okay, it's not too bad. Okay, 100 points. I mean, you're awake. You have a cell phone 142. Oh my God, you guys are so patient. I salute you. I salute you. But I would be careful as well because they could spike it up very, very quickly. With this PA can be very nasty. You can get a massive, massive, massive candle after, because they have been holding it in a range for really, not, it's just, let's see the higher time frame. It's almost, I would almost consider this a whole range. How many points is this range from yesterday? Tuesday, from literally, it's almost 24 hours now. Okay, it's still 300-point range, but it is a bloody range. Oh, what is your TP, Sonia? Where you taking it off? Are you going for the midnight? Is that your trade? Okay, 4 o'clock, guys. 4 o'clock coming. Let's see if it wants to bring it down or. Look at ES. Oh. Oh, look what we have here on ES. There's a devil's mark here on ES, so that will be a nice draw on ES. But I still, yeah, it's just above this. I can see it spike up anytime as well. I don't know. I would like it to go into this hourly wick, and then ES draws into the devil's mark. So that means, so this is like a nice draw on liquidity as well. And then for NQ into this wick. It could spike up all the way up. It's seek and destroy, baby. I'm gonna go for this wick, maybe. Let's see. It could go for this liquidity now. Let's see if it wants to go higher. I like this draw here. I'm not taking any risk with this price action. So now I salute you, but I would not. In a normal price action, yes, but not when it's like this. I would not take any. I would not take the risk because it's sort of like uh, I would think it would go down. That would be the most logical thing because also ES has that devil's mark, right? But I've seen with this, I mean, it could easily go for these highs as well because it's such a good way to take everyone out of their positions. I mean, they left this wick for quite a bit. So like I said, I've seen it. Like I said, I could spike up any time, so I would not take any, especially with this macro. This is the if we've been in a range, the 350 macro has a lot of power a lot of the times. And if it goes, it goes. So like I said, I'm looking at this one here, this baby. maybe even higher. Let's see if it wants to go higher. Seek and destroy. There we go. Let's see, it wants to take out this high now. So in all fair, I wouldn't take a short in all honesty until this wick has been. Well, I actually, to be honest, I think once it goes over this wick, I think we'll go higher. But I wouldn't consider a short also, even though when it takes out this wick, I think it's just bound to. It might leave midnight for later on. It might leave it for later. That would be nice. I wouldn't mind if it leaves midnight for later on. I want to see this wick. I want to see this area taken. If I would have taken the trade, I would have taken it from here to here. That would be my trade. Man, less points than Bowser. That sucks. You see here, because it hit midnight, the midpoint here of that wick. It took liquidity, midnight. That would have been my trade. I might even take it a little bit. Let me see if I can bring in a new trade. I think I'll take it to 900. Yeah, I think it will be 900. Let me take it. Which is Asia. I think it's going to run for that high now. So this wick has been taken out on the 450 macro. Oh, interesting. Do you guys see the time this has been printed? Okay, I think we're going to go for the Asia range. Check out this wick here. Very interesting. I wonder if well, Gianluca, if you want to trade this, be my guest. I'm not touching this price action. I just want to say, I wonder what New York is going to bring, because if that bank test is really of influence, it will not change much also in New York. Because all institutions will be a hold in a range. They're not in, there's no external flows coming in, right? I I hate it that it's the 4 p.m. Eastern. That means it's the end of the day. So I'll be I'll be risk off today. We'll see. Hey, company man call. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave it at here because there's not much to do. Let's see if Seek and Destroy remains. I mean, this was definitely a Seek and Destroy profile. It either needs to trade away from the range in order it to become a little bit different. I do think we might go a little bit higher now, but I still could be totally wrong. But if they're going to keep it in this range, that's going to be awful. They left midnight. I would be very careful trading today if this stays like this. But Micron ER after the bell, maybe we'll be waiting for directions for their result. Yeah, it looks, well, we'll have to see a little bit later on. I hope we can trade away out of this range because it's been here for over 24 hours now. We're back to old price action, right? It's like the old day, like last, we're over the, okay, the midpoint of the range. So the midpoint is the low of the end dog. We're just not getting over it. I wonder if it will take midnight with a wick, like very fast, a candle just taking it out everything and then go back up or something. I'm still more bullish than bearish, I guess. But... Okay, guys, I'm going to touch some sand instead of grass today. I'm going to go to the beach and then come back for the pre-market preppers. I'll see you at 8:50ish. And everyone else, I'll see you back tomorrow, London time. Please be careful with this price action. Yeah, I wish we had better price action in London, but we did not. Still insightful, but yeah, I think it might run higher, but I would be careful trading it though. Asia highs here, so I think that might be in play, but I'm going to do something else and not waste my time and money on this. I'll see you guys later. Ciao, love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me again. Appreciate all of you.